Hi guys. I know it's early, so I just want to see. I'm just getting off work, and then I'm gonna go home and go to bed. So I just want to see if anybody's out there that's gonna pop in real quick, because I just have some things to clear up really fast. So I'll wait a couple minutes and see if anyone comes in. If they do, they do. Aw, man. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. I know, like I said, it is early, so there's that. I just want to clear something up. So if you do pop in, say hello. And if no one does, then I can always clear it up later today. I'm just probably going to go to bed. Hey, Savage. Hey, my friend. Did you just get off work? I think you get off earlier than me, maybe, or later. I don't know which one. But there's some lies that were told on YouTube last night, so I just want to clear them up really quick. See if anybody else shows up. See, if there's one thing that I really hate is when people make false statements about me. At 9, okay, I just got off. I got off at 7, but work was long and had to call the cops and like they're so they had to get a search warrant. It was a whole long thing. So anyhow, I want to talk really quick about what was said about me yesterday because I'm really kind of pissed about it. I have never, and I'm going to reiterate this for anybody watching, ever called CPS on Nikki Rev. Never. I implore her, since she's making claims that it was me, to show the proof. Show your proof, Nikki. If they told you, and you have it in writing like you said in your live, show the proof that it was me that called CPS. I know you're not going to because I didn't. So don't go on and try. I honestly believe that it was made up. I believe that she made up the CPS thing to make it not look as bad that she was trolling, because she had to admit to trolling because she was busted. Right? So you can go on your live, Nikki, and call me all the names you want to, and then turn around and tell everybody how you don't pick on anyone, right? When the title of your video is staph infection, and I see tons of people commenting under that. So here is the thing. I never called CPS on Nikki Rev. I don't care enough, honestly, to call CPS on Nikki Rev. I've never tried to take her damn kids from her. Do I think she's a shit parent? Absolutely. I think that everything's about Nikki. I think her and Stacey are in the same boat. They both sounded ridiculous yesterday. They sounded like two children. You did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. The only difference is Nikki has more people on her side. That's it. Am I sticking up for Sparkle Parts? Absolutely not. But what I'm not going to do is let somebody go on live and lie and make up a fucking bold-faced, ridiculous lie that I called. First of all, Nikki, do you think that I'm that invested in you that I would call CPS? So prove it. You went on your live yesterday and said you had the proof. I can play that if you want me to. So you prove that I called CPS on you. See, there's some cracks in your story, Nikki. There's some cracks there. Because, you know, I have a friend who's a CPS caseworker. So I asked her some questions. When CPS investigates you, no matter the claim, they can't just walk into your house and look and say, oh, you're a wonderful mother. They still have to investigate, because anybody can look like a good parent. They have to do an investigation. They're not going to walk in your house and say to you, oh, yeah, you're a wonderful mother. you are, that's not how it works anywhere. Secondly, if indeed somebody called CPS, their policy, Icky, unless it's a custody battle and a custodial parent is the one that turned the other person in, because it's going to be important paperwork because it's a custody battle, it is usually kept confidential and anonymous when someone calls CPS on you. Do you want to know why? Because CPS doesn't want to risk any type of revenge. They don't want to risk somebody coming back at someone for calling CPS on them. Say somebody calls CPS on somebody and their kids get taken away. They don't want to deal with somebody getting backlash for that, for being concerned about a child. So here's the thing. Byron tried this a long time ago too, if anybody remembers, saying that CPS called him and he showed the caseworker all the screenshots. Nikki, CPS is not going to give a goddamn about your screenshots. They're not going to care about your screenshots. I have never, ever said anything in a screenshot that you can use against you with CPS. Like, you're not making sense. Listen to yourself. So does my friend, two of a kind, and she's lying. So here's the thing, Nikki. Since you have the proof, and you think it's so funny to have, you and all your friends in your comments calling me staph infection. That's real funny, right? I would love to see your proof. Show me where a CPS worker gave you documentation that I called CPS on you, or Paula called CPS on you, or Janet called CPS on you. Because none of us did, Nikki. You're just lashing out at the people who call you out for your bad behavior. And you needed a reason to justify your trolling because you were fucking busted. You're busted on your own join. You're paying to be your own member under that LOL account. Not to mention you busted yourself in a lie how many times saying, I don't troll, I don't do anything. These women just pick on me. Right, but you sure were trolling away in that LOL account. So, it was so horrible of Stacy to tell the truth about you being a troll because CPS is going to see that. So this is what I gathered from it. CPS is going to see that, and that kind of supposedly makes you look bad because you were telling CPS that it was all of us that troll you. And another thing, Nikki, making a false CPS claim is not as bad as a felony. People make CPS claims all the time, and sometimes they are wrong. CPS would rather have a child be safe and investigate than have a child be in danger and not investigate. So for you to say that it's worse than a felony for someone to call in a false CPS report is ridiculous. So the point of this whole thing is, while you're over there telling people how horrible I am and how I called CPS on you and that's why you trolled, Nikki, stop and think before you speak. Have some proof, because I'll tell you what, I always have proof before I run my mouth. I make sure I have some kind of backup. You sat on that live and you cried. You were crying because you got busted trolling. It all boiled down to that. If anybody listens to that damn live, it all boiled down to you got in trouble because you got busted trolling, and that looks bad for you. Right? Because your CPS worker is going to prosecute all the people trolling you. Like, your story's stupid. You sound ridiculous. I have never called CPS on you. If you're going to go around and spread that rumor, then I would love to see the proof, Nikki. Burden of proof lies on you, right? I know that if I was going to come on and accuse somebody of doing something like that, like accuse you of trolling under the LOL account, I'm going to show proof like I did. Then what happened? You had no other recourse but to make up some story on why you were trolling, right? Because this is the first time any of us had heard about the CPS. And you know what else is really weird, Nikki? You were talking about how Stacy knew about the CPS thing, right? But I saw Stacy in your live yesterday. And she literally said, now, granted, anything Stacey says, it could be a lie. But she did act genuinely surprised that CPS was called on you. So, seems to me like this is probably a made-up scheme for you to go on and get sympathy and justify why you were trolling. It sounds even more ignorant than you did the other day. You're racist, you're ridiculous, and until you have proof, you shouldn't be accusing me. I mean, I think it's fucking funny because I'm not the one that called. If somebody did call, you're so far off base. And here's another thing. How do you know that whoever actually did call doesn't have a genuine concern for your kids? How do you know they don't have a genuine concern for how those children are treated or not treated, or what's the word? Online all the time, or who knows? But all I know is you can't blame people that troll you. She said her troll name was, if you listened, she said her troll name was Noodle, and she changed it to LOL. She admitted it was her. A long time ago, her troll name was Noodle. She changed it to LOL, and then bought her own joint. And even if you look at Paula's channel, Nikki's going back and forth with herself in the comments. Did you see Steph's video? Yeah, but please don't refer to her as Steph, call her staph infection. You're talking to yourself, and we all know it. It looks really lame. I don't even care. I don't even care. Like, Nikki is irrelevant to me. I don't care. I don't care what she says. I don't care what she says about my looks. Nikki cannot hurt my feelings. I consider the source. But what you're not going to do, Nikki, is go on and tell lies that I went real life. Let's talk about real life, though. Do you remember? Do you remember doxing my child, Nikki? You remember when you and Stacey came into the White Tupac chat, and I have screenshots of Stacey repeatedly doxing my child, and you laughing along with her, and every time the fake account of my child got blocked, you unblocked it. Every time we blocked it, you unblocked it and let my child's picture, full name, and address be back out there. And there are screenshots to prove that, as well as multiple people that saw it. But now she claims that that wasn't her. It was her. She had a wrench. Hawk verified it. It was her. So don't accuse me of doing things like that, Nikki. That was all you, right? And who can take your word for anything now? Because you just told us. You lied about troll accounts. You lied about doxing my kid. Like, what else are you lying about? Captain Squid, I'm not out of breath. I'm driving. Shut up. It's probably Nikki. She is lying. She's lying. CPS had a duty to at least investigate that claim. Whoever made that claim, they had a duty to at least investigate it. There's no way, from what I was told by someone who works there, that they walked into the house, took a look around, and said, oh, you're a wonderful mother. No. Too many things have happened, like the Gavin Staunch case. Too many things have happened where they thought children were fine and they end up dying at the hands of parents. So they were obligated to at least do the investigation, right? And what I know, from what I was told, CPS is never going to get involved in internet drama. They might take into consideration if she said, oh, well, I'm hated on the internet, so somebody called, but they're never going to look at screenshots of people trolling her and tell her that a fake CPS call is worse than a felony. Like, that's just not going to happen. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe CPS did come out to her house, but she's embellished quite a bit about that. And I can tell you right now, it was not me. I don't believe it was Janet. I don't believe it was Paula. Right. Screenshots of what? What is she giving her screenshots of? Like, I have not said anything except for call her a racist, which I believe she is. I've never threatened her children. These people are trying to take my children from me. It's awfully funny that all this time you've had an issue with me, you're just starting that narrative now. That narrative is just starting when you got busted. At this point, I don't even care. If she, listen, here's the deal. If Nikki can turn people against me, if they allow that, then they're better off over there. That is my opinion. Not one person is going to stop me from speaking my mind about Nikki. Not one person is going to stop me from calling her a racist and saying the things she does are blatantly racist. Not one person. But what I will do is I will call her out when I know she's lying. So here's your burden of proof, Nikki. If I'm the one that called CPS, show us some proof. You said yesterday in your live you had proof. I would love to see the proof. I would love to see the proof that I called CPS on you. You want to know why? Because I know that I didn't, and I know there's no proof. So I already know that you're going to have to make up another lie to cover the first lie. I have a friend who works for CPS. I did not call CPS. And who are you? Are you Nikki under another troll account? She doesn't have any proof. I literally have a friend who went to college and is now a caseworker. She doesn't have proof. She's just, listen, if the CPS thing truly happened, I feel like we would have heard about this a long time ago. We didn't. We didn't hear about the CPS thing until yesterday when she got busted trolling. The whole thing boils down to, I outed her for trolling yesterday in my live. Everybody went and looked. Everybody realized she's bought her own join. She talks to herself in the comments, and she looked really stupid. So she had to say something. And Stacy also made a video about her, so she had to say something. She looked really dumb. Right? Stewie, do you remember? Do you remember the day that Nikki was involved in my child being doxxed? You were there. And every time Stacy put the account in Pox chat, Nikki unblocked it. Every time we blocked it. Do you remember that, Stewie? The crying was very fake. You're crying because you got busted trolling. Here's the thing. Why troll? If you had those things to say about me, be a woman. Say them to me, Nikki. Stewie was there. Stewie was in the chat where Nikki and Stacy doxed my daughter, her full name, her address, her picture, and every time we blocked the account, Nikki unblocked it and put my daughter's name, picture, and address out there. And later on, had the nerve to say it wasn't that big of a deal because my daughter is older. Yeah, and then later tried to say that Stewie and I conspired to make her look guilty and tried to say she wasn't in the chat, but she slipped up in another live and said, well, she was in the chat. She's a lot like Stacy. She can't keep her story straight. And like I said, I by no means am I on Stacy's side, because I'm not. I think she's disgusting. I think she's just as vile as Nikki. But you guys have to admit, she looked pretty surprised in that live that CPS had been called. I thought you told her about that prior. That's why you were crying, because she knew. She knew what you had been through with CPS, and she outed you. But you did it. You were trolling. Yeah, she can. Well, Sean, she said in her live yesterday that she has proof. She has proof it was me, Paula, and Janet. Those are the three she named. That she has proof. And I said the same thing just a minute ago. From what I was told, when I asked some questions, they do not, unless it's a custody case and it's a parent making a CPS claim against another parent because it has to be shown in court, they usually keep it anonymous because they're afraid that the person who's reporting is going to get targeted for reporting. So here's the thing. You're lying, Nikki. You literally said, see, this is where Nikki lets her mouth cash checks, like write checks she can't cash. You let your mouth write a check that I know you can't cash, Janet knows you can't cash, and Paula knows you can't cash. So since you have the proof, and you literally said to someone in your live yesterday, I do have the proof, I can show it. Show your proof, Nikki. Just like Stacy. Stacy, show your proof. Just like I told her, she never did because she didn't have it. Nikki, show your proof. She won't because she doesn't have it. I can guarantee you she does not have proof that I called CPS because I didn't. Yeah, the old I have proof but never shows proof. That's Nikki for you. And for you to get on there and lie and tell people that I called CPS, first of all, you can ask any of my friends. I don't usually go real life. Unless someone's come real life at me, I don't usually go real life. I don't dox children. I never have. I have your address, Nikki. I've never doxed it because that's not how I am. Right? So explain to me how, also, that's another part of her story that looks completely false. When she said that CPS, she's lying. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Virtual Snob. She's lying. So she made outright lies. I really believe that CPS has never even come to her house. I think that Nikki knew she was busted trolling and she needed a reason, a good reason, because she wants to be, you know, that good Christian woman. So she needed a reason that looked legitimate for her to troll. So saying that I called CPS on her, well, that makes it look like it was okay for her to troll me. Sean, why are you in here trolling? I don't think you called CPS. I don't think anyone called CPS. And I don't think your real name is Sean. My thing is, here, don't make allegations. Don't tell lies. If someone called CPS on you, it probably was warranted. I mean, people, like I said, maybe someone felt their concerns were valid about your children. That's very, very, you guys can block Sean, I don't care. That's very, very possible that someone was actually concerned for your children and did call CPS. But it wasn't me. It wasn't Janet. Why are you picking on Janet, of all people? Hi, Shannon. I'm sorry I didn't see you. I was, so when I drive home from work, like I told you guys before, like anyways, yeah, it's not a big deal. So here's the deal. I want to see the proof, Nikki. You ran your mouth yesterday. You said you had proof. That was your first mistake because you don't. So show your proof or you're a liar. Show your proof or you're lying. Just like I said, CPS doesn't just walk into a house, take a look at your children, and take a look at you and say, oh, you're a wonderful mother, we're not going to investigate. CPS is obligated to look at the children's rooms. CPS is obligated to look in the refrigerator. CPS is obligated to talk to the children. CPS is obligated to investigate. They're obligated. Because it could be like the Gannon Staunch case where you think everything's fine and the child turns up dead, right? So they have to investigate. They don't just walk into a house and say, oh, you're a great mom. Don't worry about it. That's exactly what it is. She wanted to do something against the people who speak out against her. So she concocted this thing. I do not believe her for 1 minute. I don't believe her. I know it sounds horrible and I'm not proud of myself, but I believe Stacy was shocked when she heard about CPS because she'd never heard it before. And that was one of Nikki's points. I just don't have time for her. I don't, and I don't have. I will not have somebody lie about me and say that I did something that I absolutely did not do. So the burden of proof is in your corner, Nikki. You guys, go look at Paula's community page where, so it's known now, Nikki admitted to it in her live yesterday, there's no question, Nikki is the LOL troll account. She said she was. She admitted it. It used to be Noodle a long time ago. She changed it to LOL. So there's no doubt there. She's admitted that. She said that herself. Hi, Wheezy. Yeah, oh no, Stacy's video was fucking ridiculous and self-serving, and she's a victim, right? I agree. I'm not a fan of Stacy, like I said, but I do believe that Nikki's just as crazy, and it was like watching two fucking greased pigs argue. The only issue is Nikki has more people on her side, so she's got a gang of people. So now Stacy really feels gang stalked. But she admitted that the LOL account was hers. So everybody go, when you get a chance, go look at Paula's community page. Paula literally shows an interaction between Nikki and Nikki about me. Was it you, Reza, or was it Paula? I think it was Paula, where Nikki said, LOL, aka Nikki says, oh my gosh, did you see Steph? First of all, don't call me Steph. You're not my friend. You don't have the privilege of calling me Steph. Only close people to me do. Don't call me that. Did you see Steph's video about you? It was ridiculous. And then Nikki comments back to herself and says, yes, but could you please not refer to her as her name and call her staph infection? I don't want to give her any publicity. But you are, bitch. You are. Yeah, she doesn't have a job. She quit her job. Right, Reza? So now she's admitted that it was her. So Nikki not only has trolled all of us, right, when she's gone on live and said, I don't troll anyone. I'm a Christian and these people pick on me and bully me. So now not only is she busted trolling all of us, but she is a member of her own join. She is paying to be a member of her own join and having conversations of herself. And yes, Stacy quit her job. Well, I mean, we all knew that was coming. That's not a surprise to any of us. That's what I mean about Stacy. Like, how delusional can you be to not realize it can't be everybody else? In this instance, Nikki's just as bad as Stacy. I have to say though, if I had the best friend, would I be pissed if my best friend outed me for trolling? Probably. However, it didn't go down like Stacy said it went down. It didn't go down when she was on panel. What happened was she was in a live stream typing, and I said, haha, Stacy. I said, you're not slick. I know that you're LOL. And she said, under her Sassy and Sweet account, nah, that was Rev. And I screenshotted it. About 10 minutes later, Stacy goes live and says, my Sassy and Sweet account was cloned because Stacy was already pre-planning her excuse for snitching on her best friend, and she was going to try to lie and say her account was cloned. But then she came on panel and she said it again when I called her out for lying, and she said, because you were blaming me and I knew it was Nikki. Right, yes. She was in bed because she's so hurt, blah, 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 but she was on TikTok. Yeah. Stacy's just, I mean, we all know that about Stacy. So if anybody has any questions when Nikki is calling me names, when Nikki is making these accusations, I mean, I would assume that if you're my friend, you know me and you know that I wouldn't do something like that. But if anybody has any questions, I'd really appreciate it if you would come to me and talk to me, because I'll be happy to tell you the truth. Hi, Glittery. Well, that's what Nikki said too, two of a kind. When she doxed my child, when she kept on blocking the account that was doxing my child, she pulled the Stacy too. That's probably where Stacy got it, honestly. She said she was cloned. First she said, that wasn't me, I wasn't in the white Tupac's chat. And then Tupac said, no, it was you, I checked, you have a wrench. Then she said, oh, well, I was there for a minute, then I left. Stephanie and Stewie must have conspired, and one of them changed their account to frame me. I was cloned. Stacey's account was never cloned, Becca, you're right. I mean, Stacey's disgusting. She's disgusting. But she's not a smart troll. Nikki's a little fucking smarter. I hate to give her that fucking credit. She's a little smarter, except for you're dealing with someone that's fairly smart, Nikki. I know my shit. And I know that there are certain things that go along with CPS being called, and I know, and I call bullshit on the things you're saying. You don't have proof. CPS is not going to come in and say, we got this report and we're worried about your kids, and this person, and this person did it. Do you even know Paula's last name, Nikki? Right? You don't. Hi, Ken. Anyways, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I know you're watching, Nikki. Hello. Nikki, show your proof. Ball's in your court. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting to see your proof. Not proof that you heard or, just wait. There will be some excuse why Nikki can't show proof that I called CPS on her. Some excuse. Just wait. I know it wasn't you, Janet. I know 100% it was not you, it was not Paula, and it was not me. I know it wasn't us. But what Nikki said about Paula was okay, right? When she was saying that Heavenly Father would never let Paula's womb have a soul in it because she's a fucking disgusting bitch, and calling her bird shit. So it's okay for Nikki to call Paula bird shit and call me staph infection, but she gets called a racist, which she is. Like a literal racist. Like she literally made racial slurs on more than one occasion and is the biggest problematic piece of crap on YouTube. I implore you to tell the truth, Nikki. I wanted so badly, but of course I can't comment because I'm blocked, right? Because anybody that knows the truth or speaks the truth gets blocked right away. I didn't even try. Oh, Reza, I know it wasn't you. You guys, I honestly don't believe it happened. I don't believe it was any of us. I don't believe her. I think she needed to come up with something, like I said, to make her trolling not look so bad. Absolutely, Reza. You can use any of my videos. You have my permission. So, for the record, I never called CPS on Nikki. I never did. I don't, honestly, I don't care enough. Do I think she's a shit parent? Yes. Do I think she cares more about her lives than her daughter and dressing her and making sure they're clean and bathing them? Yes. Do I disagree with her parenting style? Abso-fucking-lutely. However, do I feel like the kids are abused? No. Maybe on the verge of neglect, but not abused. Do I want her children? I have enough of my own? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think she cried like that because she needed to look convincing. if you notice, she told the CPS story right before she went into the trolling story. When everybody has the same problem with you, it's usually you. As much as that shit sucks to admit, she did. She needed to look like a victim. She needed to look like she had a legitimate reason for trolling me. All of us, for trolling all of us. She needed to look like she had a legitimate reason for being a part of her own join. Just imagine this. Imagine how desperate you must be to pay to view yourself when most people can just look in the mirror. Yeah, I'm going to get off too, Janet. I just wanted to come live and clarify that. I at no point called CPS on Icky. Neither did Janet. Neither did Paula. That's a figment of your fucked up imagination, Nikki. Prove it. Show me the proof that I called CPS on you. Show me the proof. Hell, show any of us the proof. You really are trying your best to get some of my supporters to not support me. And honestly, Nikki, the way I look at it is if they don't support me, then they weren't worth having around. So you're not hurting any feelings here. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go in. I have to sleep. I just got off work, so I'm going to sleep until about 1 or 2. But please know, those of you that know me well enough, please know that I would never call CPS on someone from YouTube in real life unless I saw blatant abuse. Physically, mentally, that is a point when I would call CPS. I have not seen that from Nikki. I would never do that. And for her to lie about it is pretty freaking low. Okay, Penny, I'll call you later. Okay, guys, I will talk to all of you a little later today. I'll try to let everybody know when I'm going live. All right. Everybody have a good day.